and I love how you've brought this point in as well about the bigger context. And I'm recalling how we first met, which was our mutual friend Daniel Simpson. I think, yeah, it was Daniel who we actually have been in a men's group together with as well a couple of years ago. He sent me something amazing you'd written about ancestral healing and your grandfather in the First World War, and I was on a similar path of exploration of my own ancestral war trauma. And it seemed like just at that very moment, he shared your writing with me, and it felt like a very synchronistic connection. And in my own exploration in men's groups, in the Thomas Hubel work and elsewhere, what has come to me is the degree of frozenness that so many generations carry directly as a result of war, First World War, Second World War, other wars, and how, as a result, the men who came back were just not able, they just had no capacity to relate to their families, to their wives, their children. And we had these huge gaps. We had this lack of attunement, this lack of resonance in these family systems that has cascaded through generations. And I had a very profound experience of really feeling like the frozenness in my own male lineage, with my own dad, with my grandfather. Like, wow, how the lack of the male energy or the sort of stream of masculine wisdom and vitality, it had kind of slowed down to a trickle. It was still there, but we need to kind of clear the channel and let it flow. And what I feel, one of the principles that I think you were alluding to, is that in a men's group, and we have men of different ages, different generations, quite a wide range actually, we can be as brothers for each other. We can provide what maybe we didn't get from our fathers necessarily. And we can, that to me is a really powerful part of the healing. That through the eyes of other men, witnessing us in our struggles, witnessing us in our triumphs, acknowledging and seeing where we are in our lives, what we're trying to accomplish. That's something that many of us didn't receive from our fathers in the way that our deepest heart would have loved to have done. But we can give it to each other. And by doing that, we're honoring our fathers who maybe lacked the capacity because they were so wounded and they grew up in wounded households, overshadowed by war or all kinds of other collective trauma fields. So we're healing ourselves, but we're actually healing these bigger systems and sending healing back to our ancestors. That's something very real, and there is an element of honoring our ancestors and some ancestral work we already started to touch into in our summer dialogues. So there's that whole component that's also very available.